to devise some kind of method or strategy to offset some of the events or a repetition of the events that have taken place here in Los Angeles recently. We have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Tamir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man that go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, given to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations, I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
Touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric Malcolm.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? ain't no me? Is it cause
Nobody knows why liars lie. Winners are not allowed to allow losers to rewrite history. It's God's side and the other side. Country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good over cabbage and look like Mr. Potato Head.
I didn't want to be a movie star.
No, you couldn't be a movie star. Ricky Smiley can't act. Cause Ricky Smiley can't act. Why is he in a dress again? He didn't be wanting to Barbie. And you gotta tell him no. Said ain't got no special, you remember. Eve ain't got no special, you remember. Ricky ain't got no special, you remember. Sir, I have 12 comedy specials. P. Diddy or whoever you is. TVJ, 20 of them. I won't stop burning you down until there ain't nothing left. Rubble on top of rubble and I'll still be bombing. Look like a wall, Richard. Look like a wall. You didn't say no. Look like a wall, Richard. Look like a wall. You didn't say no.
all right? Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to Queen Ahmadiyyah TV, the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur TV show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your daily vitamin. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right, now let's get into it. Everyone, please get those likes up. Please be sure to like and share. Thank you in advance. All right. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._A_Shakur, TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, and Twitter at DGoddess27. And as per usual, if you don't like what the Queen is cooking, you already know what to do. Okay. Hello, Edward, Claudette, Byron B in the house, Reeducated Soul, Pearly. All right, Pamela, Stacy, Miss Eby is in the house, Nessie X, the Prince of Paraphernalia. All right. Miss AP is here. Reeducated Soul. All right. So likes up, everyone. I see you, Deronda. Bithyard's in the house. Samantha. Everyone get those likes up. Hey, Danielle. So let's get into it. Shout out to my moderators putting in work. Y'all know I love me some loyal royals. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about Barack. Barack and Michelle have gone ahead and after being criticized, and I want you all to pay attention because at the end of the day, you know, there were rumors circulating that Barack didn't want to back Kabami because he didn't think that she could beat Trump. And in fact, said that he actually wanted Mark Kelly, the former astronaut, to be at the top of the ticket. But, you know, he got criticized by other Democrats. And so now he and Michelle have gladly given Kabami their blessings. So let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see when she gets the phone call. I want you all to pay attention. You know, this all seems so staged to me that when she gets the phone call with Barack and Michelle endorsing her, that she's being recorded while she gets this call. And this is all just to further put out the narrative that, oh, yes, they were always going to vote for her. They were always going to choose her and all this and that. They were always 10 toes down and all of this, okay? To dispel any rumors about the latter or the previous, what I just said. And not to mention, let's not forget how when her and Joe, you remember when they won and she conveniently was being recorded while she answered the phone. We did it, Joe. I absolutely cannot with her. Okay, Mr. Elevation said the fakeness and foolery. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, beloved. I mean, how much can we take? But anyway, I digress because got plenty of these Negroes who love them some Kabami, honey, and they're going to praise her until the wheels fall off. Please pay attention. So let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see the foolishness. Likes up.
Hi.
Hey there.
Oh, hi, you're both together. Oh, it's good to hear you both.
I can't have this phone call without saying to my girl Kamala, I am proud of you. This is going to be historic.
We called to say Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office.
Oh, my goodness. Michelle, Barack, this means so much to me. I am looking forward to doing this with the two of you, Doug and I both, and getting out there, being on the road. But most of all, I just want to tell you the words you have spoken and the friendship that you have given over all these years mean more than I can express. So thank you both. It means so much. And we're going to have some fun with this too, aren't we?
All right.
Kamala.
Hello.
First of all, she is so fake. Hi there. Please pay attention. You all, I'm sure that's screw tube because my connection looks to be pretty good. Okay, please pay attention. Honey, you can't say at me. You can't say anything negative about me, okay? That's just a fact. Somebody got their whole stream shut down on TikTok the other day for even trying it. Okay, please pay attention. Now, that all being said, I find it interesting. Okay, but hold on. Because there have been many people with sense who are telling the truth about Kabami. There's many people telling the truth about her, and I'm about to play one of them. Hold on, beloveds. Hold on here. I'm trying to, can you all see me? Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Can you all see me? I'm trying to make sure I'm not still frozen on the screen. Once in the chat, if you all can see me, because I can't tell on this phone. Okay. I don't want y'all to miss nothing. One's in the chat. Can you all see and hear me? Just fine. Before I can tell. Okay, there go the ones. Okay, my chat was slow. My chat had stopped. Okay, thank you. All right, so let's continue because like I said, honey, you can't say nothing bad about Kabami. And this is what happens. Channel starts getting frozen, all kinds of nefariousness. But let me show you all this video with this young man, what he had to say about Kabami. And he said it very eloquently. Maybe I showed you this yesterday. I can't recall, but let's look at it anyway. Okay, because I find it all interesting. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Desmond says, great commentary, enjoying my omelet. All right, thanks, Desmond, for your insight into the topic, your kind words, and your contribution to the channel, beloved. Enjoy your omelets. Okay, here we go.
I really didn't want to address you at all because you were goofy, but for starts, everything you listed off is irrelevant to the point that's being made. It's actually this thing called a red herring, where instead of addressing the argument, you deflect by talking about some irrelevant bullshit. She's not a descendant of American chattel slavery, therefore she's literally not a Black American. She's a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen. She has no indigenous American ancestry, therefore she's a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen. Her dad is Jamaican, that's not American. Her mom is Indian, that's not American. Y'all be wanting to equate American citizenship with American lineage, and I'm not going for it. Race is a social construct. Everybody with dark skin is not necessarily Black or Negro. Take, for example, dark-skinned continental Indians. Take, for example, dark-skinned Arabs. Kamala is not a Black American descendant of chattel slavery or indigenous American. Therefore, she's just a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen. Thank you for listening. I really didn't want to.
Okay. So y'all heard what the young man said, and no lies detected as far as I can see and hear. Okay? None whatsoever. Claudette says, speak, young man. Absolutely. So now with that all being said, now that we got that cleared all up, let's talk about Trump. Because once again, they've changed the story about Trump. Now remember, when I first reported on the attempted assassination, I told you all how they were saying that Trump wasn't hit by a bullet. They initially said that it looked as if he was actually hit by a piece of glass from the teleprompter. Do you all remember that? They said that it was a piece of glass from the teleprompter. But then now they're saying the teleprompters were intact. And so maybe it was shrapnel. Why do they keep changing the story? I have questions. But anyway, let's go to the footage. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Now I'm going to put an overlay on the screen. Okay, because ScrewTube stays on the Queen's arse. Please pay attention. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about it because, like I said, now they have another story to tell.
The assassination attempt on former President Trump. Was it really a bullet that hit his ear or shrapnel? Now the director of the FBI is revealing the question is still a mystery.
Is it possible that Donald Trump was not hit by a bullet? FBI Director Christopher Wray raised the possibility in testimony before Congress.
With respect to former President Trump, There's some question about whether or not it's a bullet or shrapnel that that hit his ear.
The Trump campaign is blasting the claim. Anyone who believes this conspiracy bull is either mentally deficient or willfully peddling falsehoods, a campaign spokesman says. Congressman Ronnie Jackson, who is a doctor, tells CBS News, "If it wasn't a bullet wound, I ask you, what was it? A piece of glass? Where's the glass come from? I've been told the teleprompters are completely intact." We're also seeing for the first time the moment a local SWAT team and Secret Service agents entered the building from where 8 shots were fired.
The suspect is directly above us.
They go up a ladder to the roof where they find the would-be assassin's backpack and his AR-15 style rifle. They also see his phone and express concern there may be a second gunman.
That phone starts ringing or call me in case he's got someone working with him. Gotcha. I'd like to secure it, or there's a 10% battery left.
Trump called into Fox News today and spoke about President Biden's Pass the Torch address to the nation last night.
This sacred task of perfecting our union, it's not about me, it's about you.
Well, it was like a terrible speech and a terrible delivery. He looked like he was having problems.
Others are praising Biden's speech. CNN's Van Jones choked up.
He fell on the sword. He fell on the sword.
But some neurologists say they saw a disturbing symptom of decline. Biden blinked only about 10 times per minute, less than half the normal rate. We showed the video to neuropsychologist Dr. Shanam Hafiz.
He seems to be blinking at a much lower rate than even other 81-year-olds. These could be early symptoms of Parkinson's. So I think with him, there is definitely some neurological thing at play.
The White House has said the president does not have Parkinson's disease.
So they say he doesn't have Parkinson's disease. But I find it very interesting that Parkinson's experts talked about how many times he did or didn't blink, which can in some cases be correlated to Parkinson's disease. I also find it interesting that I reported to you all weeks ago that they said that an expert on Parkinson's disease had in fact visited the White House 8 times in 8 months. That's literally once a month. They said he wasn't there to see Biden. They didn't say who he was there to see, but what they did say, the press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, said that there's military personnel there sometimes, and some of them have issues, basically. An expert on Parkinson's disease from Walter Reed National Military Medical Center visited the White House 8 times in 8 months from last summer through this spring, including at least once for a meeting with President Biden's physician, according to official visitor logs. Okay. So I'm sorry, what? I think he was absolutely there to see Biden. Why would he be talking to Biden's physician if he wasn't there about Biden? Okay, I'm sorry, but lies are being told as far as the Queen is concerned. Okay. Wavy though said Biden is software that's out of date. It's no longer supported. # pay attention. You all are terrible. Now, with that all being said, let's continue because there's a group of thugs, and these are female thugs, going around in Washington, D.C. attacking folk. Okay, specifically women, teenage girls going around attacking women. And so the report came out on yesterday, and I just find it all interesting. Because this has happened before where there was a group of girls, I think it was in 2022, when they were going around attacking people. So is it the same ones? I don't know, but let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. And let me say this. Now, I was reading the comments on this video and they were full, of racist, hateful comments. People saying the block people, they're talking about us, but they said block instead of black. And then they're saying, oh, the people that always pretend to be victims are now, the people who always pretend to be victims are out here making victims or something. And then saying stuff like, these people will get away with it because they never get any accountability. Where's our anti-white hate crime bill? This is what they're saying. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. An anti-white hate crime bill? Well, who's committing hate crimes on white people disproportionately? Okay. Another thing, let me say this. I forgot to mention to you all on the other channel when I talked about Candace Owens with her foolish self. Candace has long been one to paint narratives and try to make us think that this country is no longer racist, which is so much BS that she's spewing, because she herself sued for racism. Now all of a sudden there's no racism left for the rest of us to complain about. We're just all being willfully ignorant and just trying to play the victims in the race card. That's what she wants us to think. Okay, but I want you all to pay attention, because the hate is real. Talking about where's the anti-white hate crime bill. Now they say that to mock us, because we keep asking for one, but unlike them, we actually need it. Another thing I wanted to point out about Candace is she said that more white people get killed by the police than black people. Well, this is true, because there's 76% of the population identifies as white. 76 versus 13% identify as black. Second of all, the fact of the matter is, when a white person is killed by the police 9 times out of 10, and that's 99.99% of the time, they absolutely did something and it was warranted. Now, what you don't ever hear, you may have heard it maybe a couple of times in your lifetime, but what you don't often hear is a white person killed by the police at a traffic stop while unarmed. How many times have you heard that? What you don't hear is about white women being killed in their homes when they call the police for help. Last time you heard about that, it was the Australian white woman who ran outside when the police pulled up and jumped on the hood and started acting all crazy. And then one of the officers feared for his safety and shot her, and she died. Her family was given at least $30 million, and that officer went to prison with a 12-year sentence. That's what you got when you did hear it. And that officer was black, okay? He was African. So yeah, that's how that worked. Real quick. See, there's never any question when a black officer kills a white person mistakenly or because they fear for their safety. There's never any questions. You're going to jail. Don't stop and go, and don't collect $200. We don't care what your excuse is. You don't dare to shoot a white person dead. Who do you think you are? Then all of a sudden, this person's no longer blue. Okay, like Blue Lives Matter. They're no longer a part of that. They send them right back to black. That's how that goes. But anyway, I digress. So let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen. Likes up. Everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
A 18-year-old girl is now under arrest after police tell us she went on a violent crime spree, attacking at least 6 women around the district in 24 hours. Now, one of these attacks happened in broad daylight near the FBI building in Northwest Washington.
News 4's Walter Morris spoke with a victim who relived the terrifying moments. Those teenage girls, they laughed at her while they attacked her.
I'm almost speechless, right? Like, not only did they assault me and try to kick me in the head repetitively, they thought it was funny.
Kate Rios still struggling to find the words, days after coming under the attack in the middle of the afternoon.
I never thought it'd be 12:30 in the afternoon, 2 blocks from the FBI building, and this would happen to me.
But it did. Rios says she was on her way to a date here at Teism on 8th and D Street Northwest Sunday when her weekend took a dangerous turn.
These girls came up to me, but they kind of boxed me in. So I was up against a brick wall, and they said, "Can we use your phone to call our mom?" Instantly, I'm like shaking, and I'm like, "Sure," but I held my phone closer, and they knew I was scared. Immediately, they said, "We ain't gonna do nothing to you." And then immediately, I'm down on the ground, like instant.
The teen attackers kicking her on the ground as they tried to steal her bag.
I yelled, "Hey," in the deepest voice I could, and they started walking away. They got into a slowly moving car, laughing.
Witnesses stopping the assault and calling 911, but DC police say that was just the beginning. Investigators say they believe the same girls are behind 5 other attacks across the district from Sunday to Monday afternoon. In some cases, the suspects using pepper spray on unsuspecting women before pulling their hair and beating them. For example, around 10:30 p.m. Sunday, police say a woman was attacked on the sidewalk just feet from her home here on Rhode Island Avenue Northeast.
They enjoyed it. They literally enjoyed kicking me in the head.
DC police say they have arrested a 15-year-old and she's now facing several charges for robbery and assault. But that isn't giving Rios much comfort.
I haven't been able to sleep at night. I just keep replaying it. I cannot believe this happened. Like, this is our nation's capital.
She says she's worried her attackers won't be held accountable because they're minors.
I'm just hoping when it gets to the court level that these girls get the appropriate charges. which is assault and attempted robbery.
And police aren't saying much about these incidents, but we do know there was at least one other person involved in the attacks, as well as a possible getaway driver. If you know anything that can help with the investigation, call NPD. In the district, Walter Morris, News 4.
Now, what I find interesting about this entire thing is they say that it's about 5 or 6 other people. Did they not want to interview those people and speak with them? Where's her bruises? She didn't look like she'd been hurt. Second of all, that doesn't mean anything, I guess, but she said they were kicking her in the head. It would seem to me she'd have bruises or swelling or something. And also, I find it interesting that they don't have any type of surveillance footage for the attack that happened in broad daylight. Across from the FBI building. There's no cameras outside of the FBI building. Please make it all make sense. And also, they said there was a getaway driver in a getaway car. So they don't have a description of the driver or the vehicle. They don't have a description of the vehicle, at least. No tag number, no nothing. If there was a getaway vehicle, how come they're not telling us what it looks like? It was a white Maxima. Okay, it was a blue Honda. It was a silver Toyota. They didn't say anything. This is all very scarce. Okay, Danielle said she smells a fake story. I do too. Come election time, they plant fake stories. Okay, now I will have to agree with Candace on those things. Absolutely, they do. I find this very interesting that they would attack someone across the street from the FBI building. All sounds real crazy, okay? Crisis actors, anyone? Because I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying this. I need more information. I need to see details. I want to see the other victims. Who's this 15-year-old? Okay, they can't show her face maybe because she's a minor, but sometimes they absolutely show the faces. But anyway, when they want to, I have questions. The person that they have in custody, the 15-year-old, how did they catch her? And she hasn't told them. Here's the thing. If they caught the 15-year-old who was involved in this, she didn't give them any information on the other people that were supposedly involved. She didn't tell them who was the driver of the car. They didn't get from her the identification of anybody else, and they don't have a description of the car, even though they have a suspect in custody. Did that lady that was just talking, did she go and identify the suspect that they have in custody and say, yeah, that was one of them? It all sounds suspicious. Okay, it all sounds suspicious. Mr. Elevation said sounds suspicious. Okay, right. My aunt said this sounds skittish. Right. Okay, Danielle said, like you, Queen, I have questions also. Exactly. What's really going on here? Okay, narratives could be being painted. I'm not saying they are, but it could be. You just have to pay attention and think outside of the box and not take everything that's shown in the media as, you know, being 100% factual. Okay, sometimes you have to take it with a grain of salt. Now, let's get into this because here's another story where this Black family lost their entire inheritance due to trickery and fraudulent practices of one man who is also Black. So let's get into it because this is all crazy. It's really kind of hard to believe that things like this can actually happen. There had to be a certain set of circumstances to where nobody was doing their due diligence for this thief to get away with what he got away with. So let's get into it. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Lithonia family says they lost their inheritance, their family home, even the remains of their late uncle after what court documents call fraud. Atlanta News first investigative reporter Sierra Cummings is live at 5 from the DeKalb County Police Department. And Sierra, this all boils down to paperwork.
In Georgia, when a loved one dies without a will, all you have to do to gain access to their property is file initial probate paperwork, a sworn statement saying you are the rightful person to inherit everything and that what you're saying is true. No other documentation required in that initial step. But here's what could happen if that process is exploited.
But this is the back of the house.
A walk around this Lithonia property.
Watch your step.
Is a somber stroll down memory lane for Trayvon Brown.
I had a lot of memories,
A family home his 69-year-old Uncle Evans Lee Jr. owned.
Every time I come here, I just want to cry, bust down and cry because he gone.
Although Evans died in 2022, the case of alleged fraud only just began to unravel.
I would like to see Mr. Watson prosecuted to the full extent.
He's talking about Randy Watson. The family filed a police report against the 43-year-old who submitted paperwork in probate court days after Uncle Evans Lee Jr. died. Randy sought to inherit whatever assets remained. This probate court petition shows Randy signed a sworn statement that he was the only child and sole heir. No additional proof or supplemental documentation was required. As a result, the probate judge appointed Randy Watson the administrator of the estate. Randy gained access to everything his father, Evans Lee Jr., left behind. Just one problem. Evans Lee was not his father. A certified DNA test proved it. The results show Randy is not even a family member, that there is a 0.00% chance the late Evans Lee Jr. was his dad. This was a court-ordered paternity test, which only came after the True family got wind someone filed probate paperwork on their uncle's estate before they could. A judge ruled in favor of Trahan and his family. By the time it was proven Randy was not the so-called sole heir, it was too late.
There was never an opportunity to go in the home, clean the home out, none of that.
The DeKalb County home itself foreclosed and auctioned off. Most of the belongings and sentimental items gone too. None of it as valuable as Uncle Evans Lee himself. An urn with his ashes also nowhere to be found. When officers asked, Randy told police he'd been robbed of all the items, the valuables, the money, and even Evans Lee's ashes. An allegation the family does not believe. Trahan maintains his uncle was adamantly against cremation.
But he was cremated.
Yeah.
And whose decision was that?
Randy Watson.
It goes back to this funeral home, FL Sims. The owner confirmed to Atlanta News First Investigates Randy Watson identified himself as the son and told the business to cremate Evans Lee Jr. The funeral home did not require proof of kinship.
Is the attorney here, the director here?
No one's here.
The funeral home would not interview with us. Based on the information they say Randy provided to them, they filled in the death certificate, a document now riddled with false information. Decedent's son, Randy. Wrong. Again, Evans Jr. had no children. Decedent's birthplace, Nebraska. Wrong. Evans Jr. was a Louisiana native. Decedent's father's name, unknown. Wrong. Evans Lee was a junior, meaning his father shared the same name.
Because ain't nowhere in the world you could just let anybody come in your establishment and say, hey, I am the next of kin, without even checking their background.
I reached out to Randy Watson multiple times, no response from him, but he previously told the probate judge that he knew Evans Lee when he was a teen. The DeKalb County Police Department opened a criminal investigation. This case has been referred to the state licensing board, the funeral home being looked into for its policies. Now, here are the big takeaways in this story. Attorneys recommend that all adults have 3 documents: a medical directive, a financial power of attorney, and of course, a will that you keep updated. You can watch this entire investigation on AtlantaNewsFirst.com. In Tucker, I'm Sierra Cummings. Atlanta News First investigates.
Okay, so that's very egregious. This man was out here just really grifting. And the fact that he got away with it and then lied and said that all of those things that he took out of there were stolen from him. He even had the audacity to have their family member cremated. And they don't even know where the ashes are. This is all so crazy, honey. Let me tell you something. I would be beyond livid. Okay, how does this even happen? All right. No one asked for any proof. Teddy said no proof required, just the right amount of money. Obviously, because I'm sorry, you just come there and say, yeah, I'm the only child. How do they know you're not lying? So nobody did their due diligence. And the funeral home, when they went and knocked on their door to speak to them, they didn't want to be interviewed. They shut that door right in their faces, honey. This is also egregious at the end of the day. Okay, also egregious. And he's probably not even going to get any serious punishment. Okay, because they seldom punish people, charge people with crimes for this. Okay, they say these things are civil matters most of the time. And so this is all crazy. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Let's talk about this 3-year-old who got shot during a drive-by. Like, people have got to stop. This is getting so sickening.
Shooter after a 3-year-old boy was gunned down at a child's birthday party. Local 10's Terrell Fournier live down with Fort Lauderdale with the latest on this investigation. Terrell.
Yeah, and his birthday party was not for this actual victim, but he was here celebrating for another child when this gunfire rang out. This family, they are in a world of heartache right now, and so are people who live in this neighborhood, primarily because they know that this park where it all happened is a constant draw for children. A children's slide at a playground with a clear bullet hole through the side. This jarring sight now marked as evidence following a shooting that claimed the life of 3-year-old Rilo Yancey.
Okay, what address, ma'am?
Panic and concern could be heard in the voices from multiple people who called 911.
I don't know, we just was at a party. And we got time. Okay.
There was a range of emotions.
Search for a shooter after a
Sunday night outside of the emergency room at Broward Health, where that toddler was rushed after being hit by a bullet. Anger and sadness among his family and loved ones after word came down that child did not survive. Extra officers from Fort Lauderdale PD were on hand to help keep things calm as the people here processed the tragic set of circumstances. The crime happened earlier in the day, just before 5 p.m. on Sunday at Riverland Park. A children's birthday party was underway here, and that boy was in attendance when he was shot. You can still see the balloons and toys left behind after the bullets rang out nearby, forcing people to scatter. This man, who doesn't want his face shown, tells us in Spanish that he heard the gunfire while inside his apartment and saw the aftermath. And now he feels for the family of the 3-year-old who was killed. Much of the park has since been cleaned up, but traces of the tragedy still remain. So here's what we know. We know that this appears to have been the result of a drive-by shooting. People in 2 different cars apparently shooting at each other, according to detectives and people who were here at the scene. And perhaps one of those stray bullets actually hit this 3-year-old boy. Police are telling us tonight that they have recovered at least one of the vehicles involved in this incident, but they have no one in custody. And that's why they are making an urgent request to the public to pick up the phone and give them a call, tell them the information they need so that they can bring justice for the family of this 3-year-old boy. We are live in Fort Lauderdale tonight. Terrell Fournier.
This is what the mother of the child posted on her social media. She said, I just want to die. It's no way I can live without my life. That's my whole life. God, I'm weak. That is so sad. That is absolutely so sad. Condolences to the family, friends, and loved ones, specifically the mother. Heartbreaking story. And you have these idiots out here doing drive-bys. They do not care. Okay, they do not care about the safety, have no regard for human lives. Who are they aiming at? Who was their target? Okay, doing a drive-by is one of the most cowardly ways. Okay, one of the most cowardly things you can do. All right, at the end of the day. So anyway, likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Now let's talk about Christopher Watts. Took out his whole family. Christopher Watts took out his pregnant wife and daughters. Let's talk about it. Because now he wants to blame it all on his side piece. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. So he calls his mistress a Jezebel. Killer dad Chris Watts is blaming his former mistress for his decision to brutally murder his wife and 2 little girls, and only refers to her as Jezebel. If she's Jezebel, who is he? Okay, who is he? I have questions. Now, the Post has obtained several handwritten notes from the 39-year-old Watts, who is serving a life sentence in a small cell in Dodge Correctional Institution. In one letter dated March of 2020, Watts wrote a prayer of confession. The words of a harlot, this is what it said, the words of a harlot have brought me low. Her flattering speech was like drops of honey that pierced my heart and soul. Little did I know that all her guests were in the chamber of death. Now I want you all to pay attention to how this psychopath is sitting here writing poetry to what he did. How did I let this happen? He continued. The blessings you have bestowed upon me were right in front of me, and I still followed the perfume of a strange woman. Watts shared most of his thoughts with Dylan Tallman, a fellow prisoner in the at the Wisconsin lockup who befriended Watts. Tallman was in the cell next to Watts, and the two men became close. Who wants to come close with a man who took out his pregnant wife and daughters? But I digress. We started talking, Tallman says. We had a lot of very long conversations, spiritual conversations. Tallman was in prison for possession of narcotics when he met Watts. Although he has served his sentence, he is now serving 4 months for driving on a suspended license, which was a probation violation. They began studying the Bible together, with Watts even calling Tallman his spiritual twin. They studied the scripture together and talked daily, often encouraging each other about the hardships of life behind bars. For more than a year, Watts has planned to write a book with Tallman. When Watts changed his mind, Tallman has now released a series of 3 books titled The Cell Next Door. Parts 1 and 2 are already available. The 3rd installment was released on Wednesday. So that's probably why he befriended him, so he can get this man's story and write a book about it when it gets out. Please pay attention. Always motives. Now, the book details how the lives of Watts and Tallman intersected and discuss how they became friends through Bible study and group conversations or deep conversations. In the first book, Tallman said he and Watts called Nicole Kessinger Jezebel as they talked about her, a reference to a biblical woman who by her teaching, she misleads many servants into sexual immortality. He says, I was having an affair with this girl and I ended up in love with 2 women at the same time. This is Watts told Tallman, according to the book. It's what led up to what happened. She is of the evil spirits like Jezebel. Now, in the 1 Kings and 2 Kings books of the Bible, Jezebel was a wicked woman who turned the people away from God and convinced them to worship idols. He admitted that he was stupid to cheat on his wife, and he asked God's forgiveness every day for his infidelity. So he's asking for forgiveness for infidelity, but not murder, for not for triple homicide. This is all crazy. Let me share my screen. Please pay attention. This is also egregious. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. Look at him. I remember when this killer was taken into custody on the news media, they showed these type of pictures of him. They didn't show him in his mug shot. Okay. They didn't show him in his orange jumpsuit. They showed him in these type of pictures and portrayed him as a family man who took it all too far. I want you all to pay attention because that's a stark contrast in comparison to how they portray Black men who commit heinous crimes. Yeah, a very different way of portraying Black men. Now, Watts claimed to Tallman that Kessinger told him to choose between her and his family on the night of the murders. Jezebel was the forbidden fruit, he said, and it was costly. Watts has admitted to strangling his pregnant wife, Shannon, in their Colorado home in August of 2018. He then drove her body to a job site at the oil company where he worked and then dumped her there. His 2 daughters, Bella, age 4, and Celeste, only 3, were in his truck. He suffocated them as they begged for mercy and then stashed their bodies in oil drums. This is what the devil did. But he wants God to forgive him for his infidelity. Watts pleaded guilty and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Colorado prison officials soon arranged to have him transferred to Wisconsin for his safety. Why do they care about him being safe? Kessinger lives in Colorado, but now goes by a different name. She has not spoken publicly for several years about her relationship with Watts. She did not return the post messages for comments. Okay, also egregious. Absolutely low down and dirty. And he has no one to blame for his actions other than himself. And here's the thing. If there's any woman ever or any man that tells you to leave your family, your loved ones, your own children, choose between them and that person, that's all crazy. He should have known then just to go back to your wife, but no. Don't try to blame Kessinger, because at the end of the day, he was willfully complicit in it. Okay. He was willfully complicit. He wanted to be with that woman. That woman was sending him, provocative pictures of herself clad in her little bikini and all that. I saw the pictures. She was sending him these things and he thought it was all tantalizing and salacious. And so therefore, he decided to take out his wife, who was pregnant with another child. I can't have another child. I've got a whole side piece that I have to tend to. I can't take care of these girls. This is not for me. So he took them out. That's what he did. Then lied about it. And the only reason he pled guilty, in my opinion, was to avoid the death penalty, because he could have gotten the death penalty, because really about it, when you really think about it, he actually took 4 lives, his 2 daughters, his wife, and the wife was pregnant. So that's 4 people that he took out. So that's really quadruple homicide. Please pay attention. So with that all being said, likes up, everyone, please like and share. Okay, took out his entire family over some cat, says Antoinette. Exactly. Who wants to be with a person who would do that, says Miss Cookie. Exactly. Okay, so let's talk about the video footage that his neighbor recorded on the fateful day when he was questioned by police after what he done. And here's the thing. He tried to act like he didn't know where his wife was, like maybe she left town or something. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, but let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see this, and let's take a look at his body language. Okay, the lies were ever so apparent as far as I was concerned. Let me see if I need to put an overlay over this. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share, beloveds. Thank you in advance.
What's that?
My camera. Lay down.
Loaded my stuff up in my coolers, my water jugs, my book bag, my computers, some of the tools that I had from the toolbox. I knew I was going to have to do some pumping into rubbers today. That's why I was out so far.
Is this on continually recording?
Yep. Well,
Is it motion or is it? Okay, so it's motion.
Any motion event that happens, I get cars driving from this street, and this is him at 517.
Now, I want you all to pay attention, because here's what he's doing. I want you all to pay close attention to this, because here's what he's doing. Excuse me. Now, he's sitting here, and this is his neighbor who's telling him that he has footage of the area, and he's telling him what parts of the block, that he can actually record. Meanwhile, Chris Watts is looking down at his phone. He's acting as though he's not really concerned about the footage that the neighbor is in fact trying to show him. He's acting like he's preoccupied, like something is so serious on his phone that while this man's trying to show you what he captured on video, when your wife and children are missing, because at this point, no one knows they're dead and what he's actually done, but he's sitting there acting as though he's unconcerned. Now, anyone in their right mind who actually was concerned about their missing loved ones would be all glued to what he's showing them, trying to find out exactly what is going to be shown on this video footage, if we'll get any clues, if we'll have any information that leads us to their whereabouts. Okay, so please pay attention.
I usually park out there on the side. I just want to get everything back in. Be easier, so lugging everything out there, all the tools that I had to bring in.
Now, the way he's standing there with his hands above his head as he's watching, this is a sign of someone who's anxious, someone who's clearly nervous. Okay, he doesn't really know what to do with his hands, how to position himself. He's trying not to give himself away, but at the same time, you can tell that, you know, he's like uneasy as he's watching this. Not someone who would be curious, anxious to know what's going on, trying to get it all out, trying to find out, you know, what information they can get. No, that's not him. His demeanor is one of someone who's a little nervous, feeling, you know, off kilter, someone who's feeling uncomfortable with what they anticipate may pop up on that screen. Now let's continue. He clearly looks stressed. Now, mind you, at this part of the footage, the neighbor is literally showing Chris Watts's truck. That's his truck. That's his yard. Right there in front of his garage is what the man is showing. So now that he knows, well, this man's got my truck on camera, what else is he going to see? Is he going to show me bringing the bodies out and putting them in the back? What all are we going to see here? And the police sitting there watching too. He's very nervous. This is a very high stress situation for him. That's why he's got his hands up there like that. That's likely trying to help him to control his breathing to a degree, because I'm sure right now at this moment he wants to be panting. Okay.
What else can I do with this?
My detective just showed up, so he'll probably want to talk to you. He'd probably, like I said, he might have you call at the bank and see if there's any kind of activity.
Because if there is any sort of action out there,
Out of his camera,
I would have got it.
Like
Right.
we had issues the other week when people were stealing stuff out of like garages and stuff like that, and I had parked my truck.
I had
up here.
your park right here.
Yeah. So
You
someone,
can see if
I could
anything
see where
happened.
someone tried to jimmy with.
Okay, I don't mean to keep interrupting, but I want you all to notice certain specific things about his body language and his talking points. Now he's sitting there asking, what are they going to do with it? Now he's also saying, you know, oh, there's a few weeks ago, there was somebody going around breaking into garages. Sir, are we supposed to think that someone was trying to break into your garage and then they killed your pregnant wife and daughters? Is that what we're supposed to think, sir? Is that where you're going with all of this? Now he's trying to not only paint a narrative, but he's also trying to change the direction of the conversation, because right now it looks like it's focused on him because they're looking at his truck in front of his garage. Now he's trying to bring up other stuff to deflect. Okay, he's trying to take their attention away from what is on that TV. Okay, that's what he's trying to do. He's looking real guilty right here. Okay, like Miss J said, yes, he does look guilty. And it's very unnatural when you look at how he had his hands on top of his head. That is very unnatural. Who's standing there, hands raised, resting on top of your head? Regina said, wow, I didn't notice the hands above the head to control his breathing. Yes, that's what it is. He's trying to breathe normally because he really would be panting otherwise. That's exactly what it is, beloved. So let's get back into it.
This flathead screwdriver over there, and it was just like.
But if any action would have happened, any cars or anything left your house, I would have.
It would have been like right in that area. It should have picked.
Oh, it'll pick up anything coming down the street this way.
You know where that trigger is?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Watch, I'll show you. There's nothing on here. We've already watched that one. But like, you'll see this car.
What security system do you have?
Let's show you this car. You can see this car starting to drive down the street.
Right one.
Oh, okay.
See what I'm saying? It picks up all the way down there.
He's next door.
Can we go?
I was talking about dispatcher. Yeah, be close for.
Because yeah, we can pick up cars coming this way. I get anything coming this way and making this turn. So, and usually at night I pick up the cars pulling a U-turn. So unless they pulled right here,
Yeah.
but I would have caught her walking out. Diesel.
You're good.
But yeah, I thought nothing.
Nothing for the rest of the day.
No, that's it.
She's pregnant as well.
How far along?
14, 15 weeks. That's why her friend said it was low blood sugar.
Picture this. You're sitting at home alone watching YouTube videos, wondering why you can't find the motivation to do the things you
See, I've got her friend leaving out here at 2 in the morning. I think. So, my camera. Did you go check if anything was missing around your house?
There wasn't nothing. It was like all the old blankets and the and then her lawyer was in my opinion. Her phone was still there.
Notice how fidgety he is and how he can't seem to stand still, and he's pacing a little bit. He's just very stressed out at this point, very nervous. The guy's asking him, did you notice anything missing, around the house? No, he knows it's nothing missing. He didn't look because he knew what happened to them. Okay, he's just concerned at this point what all is going to be revealed. Very stressed out. And the neighbor pretty much thinks that he had something to do with it.
She dropped her off at 1 in the morning, right?
She's my doorbell said 1:48. She came in.
Okay. This is her friend leaving at 1:48.
Because as soon as it picks up motion, it'll like fail. Okay. I thought she.
That was the start of the video.
Yep.
About 1:48
in the morning.
I didn't pick her up going into the house though.
It didn't. And I usually pick him up when he comes walking through here.
Mm-hmm.
I pick him up. So it doesn't show her walking into the house. But she would have walked by right at the on. That's my
Okay.
the other dogs. They see all these people coming in and they're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And you know it's still live because it's flash moving.
Mm-hmm. How long does it typically record for?
30 seconds, I believe, at a time. But this is at 1:48, and then the next one I have is 1:05, whatever. So nothing, no cars came through because I guarantee with the headlights, it picked up the headlights automatically.
And my evidence said that at 5:27, my garage door was left open. But that could have been the sensor as well. It says it was shut during the day. But I think when Nikki's son, he may try to move the door around, maybe when they were trying to get in the door, in the garage door, and it probably broke the laser there. That's because my alarm started going off.
Well, I know he said the front door he tried going in, but he had the lock up.
That's for
So
the
that
kids,
set
so
it
they don't
off,
get out.
right?
And our remote on the outside doesn't work anymore. It got wet and the whole radio on the ground.
So yeah, that was it.
But, all right, appreciate your time.
Thanks.
Hopefully something comes up here.
No, if you just want to go talk to him, I'm going to get his info real quick. No.
He's never rocking back and forth, and if you look, he never loads his stuff in and out of the garage ever.
Right.
And it doesn't look like he came from right here. It looks like he came from down the street. And then the other thing that doesn't make sense is why would he pull past this part? You can see him pull past.
Are you able to record this?
Uh-huh. I'd have to call Comcast so I can get him to do whatever. But watch, you'll see him get out. And he walks back and forth a couple times. To be completely honest with you, my wife and I were kind of wondering when she was on vacation if something happened, because I've heard them full out screaming at each other at the top of their lungs, and he gets crazy.
Does he? And that's pretty recently.
Yeah. I'm guessing that's why she went and visited people, is because she wanted to get away from the situation.
Do you have your ID handy?
So you guys see how the neighbor is just snitching, honey. He's like, yeah, you can see on the video, he didn't come from that way. He looked like he came from down the street. I've heard him and his wife arguing and screaming, and she probably went on vacation to get away. Like, he's just really adding all of this upset. He's not acting right, how he's moving from side to side. Okay, just giving up all the receipts. Please pay attention.
I just don't understand why he keeps explaining himself over and over what he's getting exactly, what he's doing exactly, because that's not him. He's usually really quiet.
That's the back of the truck. That's that. He has right here. He has a flat hang on.
Yeah.
He has a flat hang on, and that's what it's got.
Well, that he normally just walks back and forth because I get him on camera.
What does he usually load up?
All he usually has is a lunchbox and a book bag, looks like a computer, and usually a water jug. That's it. But the fact that he was in here and explaining to it over and over and over,
Well, odd.
he doesn't look worried. He looks like he's trying to cover his tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The neighbor thinks he's Detective Columbo. He said he doesn't look worthy. He said he looks like he's trying to cover his tracks and tell him what he normally has in his hands and all of that. This is all so nefarious. Please pay attention.
He's loading his stuff. Why isn't he walking back and forth? But I can't see what he's doing in the back of the truck because he pulled into the garage.
Yeah.
But he knows my camera's there.
Any other neighbors have cameras around here, you know?
I'm sure a bunch of them do, but not that I know of.
Okay.
You guys looking out?
Yeah, I'll look at it.
Yeah.
I'll do a search here in a minute.
All these boards kept coming up missing, so we moved in here. I put this in. And like you said, someone was breaking into it. He said that someone was breaking into his toolboxes of his truck. So I told him he could park his truck out there in case they saw something. Diesel, I know you want to go play with the baby so bad.
Her mom was texted me that we did it before. She had a GPS tracker on the truck that the delivery goes.
Okay.
Don't you think it's, look at the.
I know, I'm trying to.
No, I'm just saying it's kind of odd that he pulls his truck back behind my camera. The cutoff, the truck's in the garage right now. And he never backs his truck into the driveway.
That's what her friend Christina was doing.
Diesel.
She's like, he never backs his truck up. Her mom said it too. She's like, he carries his stuff out in the house. He doesn't back his truck up.
Well, I have him on camera doing it when he does it. Because when he was parking his truck over here, the other thing was odd is while she was gone, he kept parking his truck and her car over here. And I used to see him walk out of his house right here.
He took the car out of the garage?
Oh, the car was parked over there for a long time, like a couple days.
This is past weekend?
No.
It was when she was gone for 6 weeks.
Oh.
But I thought it was kind of odd that he never parked in front of here or right here. He said someone broke into his truck and he parked over here. I have no idea. Hey, he's acting so suspicious. He's normally, you can ask them, he's normally quiet, real subdued. He's over here telling you 3 times what he took out, what he did, what he did. He's very, he never talks. So the fact that he's over here blabbing his mouth makes me kind of suspicious.
Yeah, but I mean, put yourself in his situation.
Oh, I agree.
You know, anyone's going to be nervous. You don't know what to do.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying the way he told you 3 times what he brought with him, why is he telling you exactly what he brought with him instead of saying, well, they didn't see anybody out here, you didn't see anybody doing anything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Why is he so worried about you knowing what he's carrying out? That's all I'm saying.
The detective's talking.
Okay, so please pay attention. Please pay attention because here's the thing. The neighbor was on point with all of his assessments. Now, mind you, the cop was trying desperately to give him the benefit of the doubts. That's what he was trying to do. He's like, oh, well, what would you do? He knows that stuff didn't look right. Okay. Nandy said, not defending Mr. Watts, but did his neighbor have a crush on his wife, low-key crushing? No, he's just nosy. I don't think he had a crush on her at all. I think he was just nosy. I think that he was just nosy. Now, let's look at this video real quick. This is like a 2-minute clip of when people showed up at the house and they were looking for his wife. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Nicole?
Yes.
Okay.
In this just released video, we're seeing the unsung hero whose determination may have stopped Chris Watts from getting away with murdering his pregnant wife and 2 little daughters. Nicole Atkinson knew something was wrong when her best friend, Shanann Watts, didn't turn up for a doctor's appointment. She immediately called police.
I can't get a hold of her. I called, I texted. Her car's in the garage. Her shoes she wears every single day are right in the front door.
The police body cam video shows Chris Watts arriving home. Imagine his surprise at finding cops
Scott, how you doing?
already at his house. He had just disposed of the bodies of his wife and children in an oil storage facility where he worked.
Nobody's heard from him, nobody's seen him.
But thanks to Nicole, he's had no time to get rid of personal items that his wife would have taken with her if she was staying with a friend, as Chris Watts was claiming.
Her phone's here? Yeah. Her phone's here.
She also discovers Shanann's purse.
That's her purse. It's her medication. She takes these, her medication's still in here.
Nicole is clearly worried. She knows something is wrong. Watts tries to avoid making eye contact with her. Because of Nicole, his story is already falling apart. And this is the moment Watts realizes he was caught on a neighbor's surveillance camera backing his pickup truck into his driveway. Out of view of the camera, he is loading the 3 bodies on the truck. Out of Watts' hearing, his neighbor tells police he is suspicious.
He looks like he's trying to cover his tracks.
Chris Watts looks as if his world is about to collapse.
Okay, so there you have it. Definitely guilty. Now he wants to sit there and blame the side piece and call her a Jezebel. If she's Jezebel, who was he? Because he's the one that did all of this. He's the one that did all of this. There's no way he could ever blame anyone else. He's the one that initiated or that started having an affair. Okay, he made vows to his wife. He was the one that was out there lying and cheating and then got caught up with this woman that he wants to now call Jezebel. And then it was him who decided that he'd rather be with this woman than to be with his wife. And he didn't want any more kids. And so he took them all out. This is very reminiscent of Scott Peterson. This is the same thing that Scott Peterson did to Lacey, who was also pregnant. His pregnant wife, Lacey, he took her life and then threw her in the river. This is the same thing that happened with Drew Peterson. No relation to Scott. Drew Peterson was a former police officer who took out 2 of his wives. Okay, 2 of his wives mysteriously vanished. Okay, because he killed them. So this is a common theme we see with certain people. And I find it very interesting because with the other video where I talked about the teenagers going around attacking women in DC and how they were all just going in on block people, as they called us in the comments, and saying, oh, they're so violent, they're so this, they're so that. I'm sorry, did they forget about these stories? Did they forget about these stories? Because who's more likely to take out their entire family over a fling, over a side piece? Who's more likely? Who's more likely to be a whole serial killer? Who's more likely? Who's more likely to commit assaults and rapes? Who's more likely? But they always want to go in on the block, people. Please pay attention. And like I said, the way they paint us in the media when we do something nefarious is a whole lot different than how they portray and paint them in the media. Chris Watts, on the initial news reports, they painted him as a family man. That's what they said. They showed lovely pictures of him and his wife and daughters. Pictures like this. And like this. And like this. Those are the portraits and the images they showed of him. They didn't want to see him looking downtrodden. Now, mind you, there was a black man. There was a black man who was arrested for murdering a man who attacked and assaulted his 14-year-old daughter in a restroom. You all remember that? And how did they portray him in the media? Does anyone remember? Does anyone remember that? They didn't give him any Father of the Year awards. They didn't give him any Father of the Year awards. Hold on. Likes up. Everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Yeah, they charged that man with murder. And here's the pictures they showed of him. Let's look at it. Let's look at how they portrayed him in the media. Did they show nice family pictures of him and his daughter? No, they didn't. They showed him like he was a common thug, a criminal. That's how they portrayed him in the media. See there? They showed his mug shots, all I'm saying. But when it came to Chris Watts, no. They didn't show his mug shot. They merely showed him as a happy family man who took it all too far. Yes, it's a double standard POP, absolutely. Okay? Says, I clearly remember that, Queen. Absolutely. So with that all been said, my work here is done for now. Listen, I'm going to be on the spiritual channel at 6:15. You don't want to miss it. Please make sure you tune in. For those of you who follow that channel, please make sure you tune in 6:15. All right, with that all been said, I hope you all enjoyed the broadcast and got something out of it. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
your neck, hit him with that flavor. Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got